This phone right here, my friends, is the Sony Xperia 1 Mark IV. I've been using it now for a few months, from everyday use to photography and filmmaking, and in today's video I wanted to talk about my honest experience of using it. From what I really liked about it, and maybe there is something that I not liked about it, and even we will dive into the question that a lot of you have been asking, the heating problem question, Yo, Karla Frétta, my name is Arnaldur and I'm a photographer and video creator from Iceland. So, full disclosure, this is not a sponsored video. However, I do work closely with Sony. I'm a big Sony fanboy too and an alpha user. So maybe this is not 100%, do you say biased? You understand what I'm trying to say. But again, what I'm saying now is not paid. This is my opinions, okay? And what I think. All right, so let's start by throwing up some specs of the phone. Here you can see them. I'm not super geeky, so I don't know all this. I don't even know what all this mean. I have no idea. I'm mainly concerned with the camera. That is what I'm thinking about when I'm picking a phone. And the camera on this phone is absolutely exceptional. We're talking that it has a 60mm wide-angle lens, a 24mm wide-angle lens too, and then a true optical zoom from 85 to 125mm. That is nuts in my opinion, to have that on a phone. A real optical zoom. Usually phones have, digital zoom, but this has real zoom. So you can get super compressed shot, whether it is for, filmmaking, if you're taking videos with it, or photos too. On top of that, it can also film 120 frames per second across all the different lenses that it has. So really, they've been focusing a lot on the camera and making it as good as they possibly can. Another thing I like a lot too is that it has this what they call Pro mode, which basically gives you very, very good control of your camera. As a photographer myself, this is super nice. I can control the shutter speed, the ISO, everything. As much as I can control here on my alpha camera that I'm filming here, this is like a big professional camera, I can do that too with this small phone. And I'm a big fan of that because I don't, I keep my camera with me a lot, but I do keep my phone with me way more. It's always in my pocket, So I've been finding for the last few months that there are so many times that I just take up the phone and then I'm snapping photos all over the place. On top of that, I've also found that I'm using it quite a bit as a supplement camera. Whether it is I'm doing a quick little vlog or video update, it's easy to just start filming, or if I want to snap a little B-roll of whatever it is that I'm doing, so easy to take up the phone and using it. I just want to quickly add two things I forgot to mention while I was filming this and editing this now, and that is, one, the autofocus on this phone is absolutely nuts. It's the same autofocus as you have on the alpha cameras, which is known for being top of the line. We're talking, eye autofocus, real-time tracking and all that good stuff. Also, you can do this, burst mode, 20 frames per second, burst mode when shooting photos. Nuts, it is just insane. This is a small phone we're talking about. And then one thing I would like future models to do better is to increase the megapixels. And we want more megapixels. Currently, the phone has only 12 megapixels and I want them to be a little bit higher. However, megapixels isn't everything. As you can see, I've managed to get incredible photos with this phone. So yeah, it's just, I always want to, get something better in the future, The design of it is also nice. It's pretty long, very slick, thin, pretty lightweight, and just slick black design in general. Now I do recommend if you get it that you get a case with it. It's the edges are this metal thing, so it feels sturdy, but it's pretty prone to chipping. I'm not brutal with my phone in any way, but if you just drop it a little bit, you will get a little chips like this, which, can you catch the phone here? Which is not the most flattering thing to have. So yeah, do get a case. Things that I do like about it is that it has a shutter button, so it actually feels like taking these photos. You have a shutter button here, cling. And then of course, with every other phones now, at least Androids. I've never had an iPhone in my life, so I don't know, I'm a big Android user. You can double click here, and then you get up the camera, and then you can just take photos using the shutter button, just like on the camera. And then it also has a headphone jack. This I haven't seen on phones in a long time. I do appreciate it, especially if you're like filming and you want to listen what you're doing, you can use the headphone jack there too. Now, is there anything else? Like, there are small details I do appreciate. You know, when you have your SIM card here, usually you have to have like these sticks and put them in. Like, where do I find those sticks? You know, they go away in just 1 hour and they're gone. But here they've actually come up with a way to you can just open it up using, and then you can take it out like this, just with your fingers. It's super, like, why don't all phones have this? That's the first thing I thought to myself when I noticed this. Now, let's talk about a thing that a lot of people have been asking, and that is the heating problem, you know? Like, in all honesty, that has not bothered me at all. I haven't really noticed it that much. Maybe it's because I'm mostly using this phone as for photography, and for photography, I've never really experiencing the phone becoming like super hot, and like it has become a little bit hot, but never has it like turned off, or I haven't been able to use it, you know? And I think you're mainly running into this problem when you're filming, especially 120 frames per second. The way I've been using this for filming is to film B-rolls using it as a supplemental camera, B or a C camera. And when I'm filming 120 frames per second, then I'm not filming, you know, minutes on end. I'm just getting a few shots here and there and using it. And for that, the heating problem has not really occurred to me in any shape or form that has been problematic. However, I did decide to put a little bit to the test, and I put it on, you know, recording 30 frames per second, 4K, and after over 20 minutes of like continuously recording here inside my studio, it's neither warm or hot, it's just in the middle somewhere, and it was still not giving me this, you know, overheating sign and turning off, nothing like that. It was slightly warm to touch, so yeah, that's maybe something to consider. But at 4K and 30 frames per second, it was over 20 minutes, no problem. Yeah, I don't know. This is just my experience with it, and I'm just telling you as it is, so you can, you know, do what you want with that knowledge. So, a little conclusion. I've really enjoyed the camera on this phone. I like the Pro mode for photo. It's absolutely nuts that you have all of this, this control. On video also, it's good. I've used it personally a lot as I'm a B and a C camera when I'm taking it up, doing a little film or filming little B-rolls here and there. Super convenient because I have it in my pocket all the time. You also get Video Pro for videos, which gives you a lot of control in the video work. And you can really do great video with this. I don't know if you've seen, but James Matthew posted videos where he used both the 1 Mark IV and then also the Pro and a Pro I. And I'll leave the links to those videos down here or up here. Like, nuts what he could do with just a phone. Granted, he is, you know, fantastic with creating videos, but yeah, absolutely nuts. Another thing too, like, as an alpha user myself, I like it as a supplemental camera for whatever I'm creating here. And you can even use the phone as a screen, a monitor for your camera too, which I think is great. And you have true colors and just a bigger screen than the little screen that I have here. So all in all, I've been impressed with the camera. I've used it as my everyday phone. And yeah, this is also one more thing. You will never see me promote products that I don't actually use. Like, I don't do a lot of sponsored videos on the channel in the first place. So all the companies I work with is something that I actually respect and something that I use. And this has been an Android phone that I've liked a whole lot. And the camera on it is, you know, nuts. I'm just like super excited what they will come up with in the future. Like, Xperia is, I think they came up with the phone in 2018, so they've only been on the market for a few years, while Samsung and other brands have just managed to like dominate the Android scene. So I'm very, very curious what they will come up with in future models of the Xperia, because this one is great. I like it. So that's it for me today. I think I was able to, you know, make this video somewhat entertaining and also go through what I've personally liked about it. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to ask in comments down below. If you could smack that like button for me, it really helps me out. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace!